In this video, I'll be breaking down the DXY, US30 and gold. I'll be showing you a few of my platform results and psychology at the end of the video, so make sure to watch till the end. If you're new here, please make sure to click the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. Guys, we're about 2,400 subscribers. At least by the end of the year, I want to get to 3,000, and I do promise you guys vlogs. You guys have been wanting vlogs, so I got you on that one. Now guys, the special is still on. Bingo bango, there it is. There's 2 spots left on this guy, so make sure to join, right? Now a bit of a briefing of what I have been going through the markets. Like the markets haven't been the best, especially for Q3 and Q4. The strategy hasn't been performing the best. Like we do have a few of drawdowns here and there, but one thing I can definitely say, having good risk management in a trading plan keeps you in line, right? But nonetheless, no more talking, let's just jump into the breakdown. Let's see what we got for this week. Watch till the end. Alright, so this is the dollar index on the 4-hour time frames. We'll start with this guy as per usual. So the dollar, guys, like if you look at it, we've reacted off of this zone that we've been looking at from the weekly time frame, and then we've pushed to the top, right? Now before we get the video started, guys, number one, I would like to thank the guys who've been supporting me since day one, right? I've been doing these breakdowns week in, week out. And the support that I've been getting from a lot of you day ones, especially the day ones, the guys who consistently show love, I do appreciate it. Let's keep the likes going up, guys. The more likes we can get on this video, the more people can join and subscribe and really get the value they need to get, right? So for the people who haven't subscribed, if you're listening to this video, please make sure to click the subscribe button, give a like button for sure, guys. It does go a long way, especially to consistently record these videos, and I really appreciate the support, right? So now let's get into business. So this is the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, the dollar index has pushed to the top, as we can see. Maybe let's go to the daily so we can see it a little bit more clean, all right? As you can see, guys, bingo bango, price is pushed all the way to the top over there, as you can see, and then we got a break of this high, right? So now we're waiting for price to pull back into this zone over here, right? Now it makes it easier when you go to the 4-hour time frame to kind of figure out what range are we playing in, right? So now simple clean cut finish, we're gonna pull the fib like this, right? So this is telling us this is what we're supposed to be looking at in terms of entry. We'll just use the XU fib probably over here, right? So we'll jump in relatively here, stop loss just below here, and then take profit all the way to the top, right? Clean cut finish. So for what I'm anticipating is that we can see a continuation sell off in the dollar, right? A reaction off of this point, and then a continuation to the top. Now, one thing you need to remember, guys, as well, is that we don't have NFP, right? The government shutdown is still permanent. So whenever the dollar is doing whatever it's doing, you need to understand it. There isn't much data it's backed upon, right? Trust me, guys, if the NFP data comes out, right, if we do get NFP anytime soon, right, we could find this guy even selling off. But what I do know is for the upcoming week, we do have CPI. So for sure, we could be waiting for that to happen, right? For me, I'm really waiting for gold to really play out the way we want it to play out. But for now, guys, with the dollar, I am anticipating a short-term sell-off, a continuation to the top. And then this makes it easier for you to understand, like, what are the currency pairs doing? What are the major pairs doing? How you can put yourself in a position to make money from those pairs, right? And the people who want to work with me one-on-one, guys, trust me, the link is in the description. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you can check out the mentorship, right? Let's jump over to the next pair. All right. So this is US30 on the 4-hour time frame, right? So I didn't delete the trade that I did take because I wanted to break it down with you guys, right? So what happened with US30, right? So during the week, we were looking at this buy setup. Price came to us. We were in our entry for close to about 16 hours, guys. Then we got to push to the top, right? Then when we go over to like the 30-minute time frame, right? I want to show you how I even got in the scaling, right? So on the 30-minute time frame, what we did see is that price pushed to the top, made this high, right? So automatically my brain was like, okay, cool, let's jump in with the scaling, right? So realistically speaking, this is where we jumped in again in terms of entry, right? Price did tap us in and then pushed to the top, and then eventually just came and took us out, right? And then continuously fell to the downside. Now, one thing I can say, guys, about brokers as well, right? I use XNES, right? But like and also prop firm challenges as well, like they use their different brokers. But one thing I'm noticing, US30, like on TradingView and different brokers, because I trade with XNES, I also trade like I funded next the prop firm challenges as well. So all their charts look different and their prices look different. So one thing I can say is, like, don't always trust the TradingView coordinates. If you do put the coordinates on your phone or your MT5, make sure to check if it's in correlation, because a lot of guys, I could say, like, they what is this? They got taken out of this trade earlier than they should have, right? And my anticipation is that what if it was in profit? What if it went to take profit and you got taken out, right? So make sure to check, guys, because there's a lot of manipulation, especially around these times, right? So as you can see, price pushed all the way to the downside. It basically invalidated. Like for me, once price hits 84, basically it's invalidated, right? So this trade has already been journaled and has already been back tested, right? Forward tested for sure. So what we can see is that yes, we are on a downtrend for sure, right? This is a falling wedge. I do anticipate that US30 is probably going to reverse pretty soon, right? It's just that the entry that we had, we're just following off of our strategy. So for now, we want to see if US30 is going to protect this low or not, or whether it's gonna raid it. And if the push comes to shove and price eventually comes and breaks out of this zone, I will pull out the frame from bottom to top. We'll probably enter somewhere around here. When price pulls back, then we jump in over here, then we could potentially hold it to the all-time highs. Excuse me. So this is what I do see for US30, guys. It is a sucky one because we just took another L on this one, which I will show you in the profit results at the end of the video. So it's just tricky, especially right now trading the markets, guys. Let's keep trying, keep pushing. But for now, let's jump over to gold. Let's see what we got for gold, and then we'll jump over to the prop firm and the psychology, right? All right. So this is gold on the weekly time frame, guys. The weekly time frame. So now here's another thing about gold, guys. I believe a lot of guys have been telling that my analysis is some type of way, right? Gold closed below above 4,000 this week, right? So my anticipation is this. I believe gold is probably going to sell off like November, December, Jan, maybe even Feb, right? And then potentially in terms of an entry that I do want to get in, right, it will probably be from this over here all the way to the top over here. So this is probably going to be the entry, right? Now, a lot of guys are going to be saying, Mr. Flair, do you really believe gold will drop all the way to the downside over there, right? Like, for me, guys, I've been trading gold for close to a year, right? Now, I would say this year has probably been my best year, but also my worst year at the same time. I don't know how to, like, explain it. It's like, I did make a lot of money, but I also gave a lot of my profits back to the market because of, yes, the strategy that I trade works very well, right? But I think another thing that I needed to really fix is my psychology, right? As much as, guys, you can make money in trading, it's very important to protect your profits, right? And for me, I would say this year has been a very, very good year in terms of seeing real cash, seeing real consistency. But because of emotion, psychology, risk management, it not being as polished as I wanted to be, like I gave most of my profits back to the market, right? And the way I want to approach the market next year is coming from a place of patience, and next year I'm going to be definitely way more risk on. So because I have an edge, I have a strategy that I can trust. I can fully say that I trust my strategy now, right? So I think I've gotten to a place right now where I can put my money where my mouth is. I feel like I'm doing my best to work on my psychology as much as I possibly can, guys. You know, I have different trade anchors. The guys in the Flair team already know, right? So this is what I do anticipate for gold, right? Even if you go to the monthly time frame, right? So this is the lowest low we do have, right? This is the highest high we do have. I'm predicting that in the next 2-3 months, gold will probably come back over here, wick into this point over here, and then continue to the top, right? Now, a lot of guys are saying let's just use the indice one, right? The indice Fibonacci retracement tool, which is still perfect, right? We can still jump in at as early as that, and now it puts us in a very good position because look at it, we are jumping in at 3.6 and potentially another at like 3.4, right? That's possibly where we could find ourselves ending our buys, right? So with me, I already have a lot of buys stacked over here. I'm really saving up money, depositing into my account, being patient as much as it is, because right now, guys, in the market, like there is opportunity, right? I can definitely say, especially with the strategy we do trade, but it's not as high quality. It's not A+ setups, right? And the thing is, remember, we trade like continuations, right? We want the market to give us more and more trend on markets, right? So that's one thing about us that we're doing right now, guys. But this is what I do anticipate for gold, right? For it to continue selling off to the downside. Now, Mr. Flair, how are we going to jump in, right? And this is weird coming from me because my strategy is buying gold, right? But I understand right now where we are, guys. It would only make sense for us to be selling. Check this on the daily time frame. I think the daily would give us justice, right? On the daily time frame, I think the best place to probably get a reaction off of gold and probably sell-offs would probably be this area over here, right? I would even go as far as highlighting the equilibrium of this this fair value gap over here, right? This is an IFEG for the guys that don't know. What is this? An inversion fair value gap, right? So sells over here, bingo bango, stop loss right above these highs over here, right? Maybe as far as that fair value gap. If price comes to that fair value gap, I don't want to be involved in price anymore, right? Take profit all the way to the downside over here, right? This is a 1:4 risk reward ratio, right? It is long-term trades, guys. So for me right now, like I said, with my trading, I really want to be more patient, more calculated, really understand that there's money to be made, guys. And I think for me, I've noticed money is in waiting than being involved in the market, right? So that's what I do see for gold right now. Trust me, guys, be patient. A lot of guys are telling me that gold will probably not sell off. You guys should let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, right? Now let's jump over to the prop firm side of things so you can see where I am in terms of transparency, and then also a bit of psychology in what I've been understanding with trading prop firms this whole year, right? Let's jump over to the prop firm side. All right. So we still have all our accounts, guys. Regardless of how much the market has been beating us, we're still good, right? So the 5K account, I think I'm down about 3.5%. This is a funded account for sure. Yeah, I'm down like 4%, guys, 4.3%. As you can see, the transparency is there. I want to show you guys that as much as these blue times, these blue screens, is also the reality of you being in drawdown, your strategy being in drawdown. Now it's your job to manage risk the way you need to manage it so you don't get taken out, right? So we can go to the trading overview for this one so we can show you what it is going on. I think the trade that make us took an L was the US30 trade, right? As you can see, so since we got the funded account, we took a 1% L, then we took another percent L, and then we managed to climb. This was the time when US30 was in profit, and then we took an L, and then this is where we are right now, right? So a lot of the accounts I dropped down. This one is down by 4%, right? So that's what I'm saying, like beginning of the year, December, it's going to be a lot of climbing to the top. The 50K is also down like 6.82%, right? So this one is probably the closest to blowing, right? But one thing about me, guys, I can definitely tell you is that we're definitely going to climb back up. Now, the only thing I need to do is de-risk. So for the people watching here, it's like, it's different. If you want to keep an account for a long time, understand that your risk has to be dynamic, right? This is also adding into the psychology part of things. So for me, the way I go about risking in terms of phase 1 and phase 2, right? In phase 1, the first trade I take, I risk 2%, right? If it's a W, I pass my account, right? That's how it goes. Like, because a lot of my trades are 1:4. So if I risk 2% and I make my check hits take profits, I'm done with the account. Phase 1 is out of the way. Then I move to phase 2. Phase 2 is 1% till I pass, right? Now, let's say maybe phase 1, the first trade I take is an L, right? I take a 2% L. Then when I'm in drawdown, I stick to 1% risk till I come back to break even. Once I'm at break even, I go back to 2% risk. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how I go about things, because I don't want to be trading these prop firm accounts for too long, guys. As you can see, I've had this 50K since the 26th of August, basically the beginning of, or the second month of the third quarter. And through my data, guys, it's not the best time for me to trade. Hence why you can see me down, right? The data doesn't lie, the numbers doesn't lie. And it doesn't help that also with me personally, like with the psychology, risk management. That's one thing I'm telling you guys, like with phase 2, the only reason why I'm down is this much, because I'm also taking accountability, is because I rushed the process. I wanted to get funded as soon as possible because it's a 50K account. I'm in South Africa, guys. So $50,000 is basically 1 million rand in my currency, right? So you can imagine, like, even if I made about $3,400, if I made 6.8%, this is about 60 grand in my currency, right? So things change, right? And for me, I'm 22 now, guys, and I really want that cash. But one thing I noticed is that, like, the freedom that I want comes from discipline, not excitement, right? So yes, we did take an L. This took us down. I think we took a 1% L from US30 again. We'll go to the trade overview as well so you guys can see it. Analytics, yes, this was the US30 trade that took us down. So with this account, I think I'm left with about like $500 to trade with right before the account is blown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to risk $100 per the next setup. My setups are usually 1:4. So for the next 2 setups, I'll probably risk 1% till I can climb myself back. At least I'll start risking 1% again once I get to like 4% drawdown, right? Then I can start really climbing myself way to the top, because right now it isn't the best time. So de-risking would make the most sense, right? Then coming over to the 10K, right? The 10K as well, 6.3%. This is phase one, guys. This is phase one. Check when I got this one, 19th of August, second month of Q3, right? It's been tough. It's been tough, right? Then we got the 25K again. 25K, I think I'm down 5%. Okay, 4.1%. So with this one, I would still, in this situation, I'd still risk 1%, but because of the trading performance, right, and the trading strategy, I have to de-risk, and like, especially now till the end of the year, I'll come back again stronger in the beginning of January and really push the accounts back up again. Because at the end of the day, guys, these are phase two. One thing about me now, I can say about my psychology is, I'm at a place where I understand that my life can really change next year. If you're watching this video right now, that's possible for you, especially if you're in the flat team. Like, a lot of my clients are passing phase their prop firm accounts, because especially in South Africa, I see a lot of guys not pushing the prop firm chat, because actually the truth is, guys, not a lot of guys can trade prop firms. Not a lot of guys can manage risk, right? So what I'm saying is, like, if you're watching this video, you're probably going to go through the exact same thing I'm going through. If you're going to go through the prop firm route, like these emotions that I'm going through, you're probably going to go through them. So better it being from someone who already understands how to manage risk, right? And look, guys, like I've had accounts that have passed, right? Here's the first phase of the 50K. Here's a 5K to phase two, phase one, 25K. Like, I've passed many accounts. I've made 8% multiple times, and all of these have came, like, if you can check them out, all of these have came like before Q2, before Q1. You get what I'm trying to say? So the main advice of this session, before we wrap it up, this video, right, is number one, guys, the success is there, right? I've been trading for 3 years, and I can see why, right? If you were putting in consistency and work in the market, like, it would make sense for you to start seeing consistency after 3, 4, 5 years, right? If you actually dedicated and put your time to it. Because now, guys, I can safely say that in terms of my age, there's really nothing to fix, right? Everything is clean cut finish. The only thing left to fix is my risk management and my my psychology, which is something that I'm already working on, especially now, right? So I think for anybody listening, understand that scaling is something that's gonna happen pretty quickly, and it's still road to max allocation. 300,000 is about 5 million in South African rands. That is the goal for next year, to make sure that I max allocate funded next, and then jump over to the next prop firm. So that's going to be the journey. And if you're watching this now, understand it very well. This time next year, November, this time next year, if I'm at that point, it shouldn't be a shock. You get what I'm trying to say? Because you've been walking with me through this journey. You've been with me from start to finish, especially if you're watching the video till this far. You get what I'm trying to say? So that's one thing I also actually want to thank you for. Really, really appreciate that, my brother. So for now, let's just keep our heads up, guys. Let's de-risk. I'm going to be de-risking, especially for the end of the year. The year's basically over. And then climb back these accounts, manage to get consistent payouts, maybe before my birthday, right? February, March, I do believe I'm gonna be making decent payouts, right? But let's see what the year has for us, the rest of the year has for us, guys. But nonetheless, thank you for watching till the end. I will catch you guys next week, Sunday.